Michael.
Hey, Christy.
How
Look
are
at you.
you?
I'm good. I'm blown away by your new studio.
I know. I really worked so hard on it because yours looks so good. I was watching the werewolf video that you made, and I was like, I'm so jealous because it looks so great. And now you've added more stuff.
I very subtly put our movie poster back here
I
for
was
the
gonna put the
finale.
mask because I've got the mask, but I'll do that for next time.
Go watch the finale, y'all.
Go watch the finale. You know, it was really sweet. Somebody posted the other day on Instagram that the finale in these trying times has become their comfort movie.
That's very nice to hear. And
I know. It
yeah,
was really,
I love
really
it.
great.
Um,
It was not comforting to make at times.
yeah, not at all. Yeah, we're here. We're both working on our studios. I still got to figure out how not to wash myself out so much, or maybe I just need to go get a tan or something because I look so pale. But we're here today. We're talking about weapons, 2025's weapons. I think we'll get into that in a bit. I can already tell you're getting upset. Before we do that, though, I had thrown out a question to you because this is terror and tacos.
It is terror and tacos. Sometimes we forget.
Right. And we just talk about terror. And I had thrown out to you because we just had the first day of fall, even though I think it was like 97 degrees on the first day of fall where we are. And I
Mhm.
said, is there a shift in the tacos that you like when we get into fall? And you brought up something else you wanted to get into.
Well, yeah. So in the fall, my people, Michael, I don't know if you know about my people.
A little bit, a little
Yeah.
bit.
My people start getting excited about tamales.
Yes.
And because tamales is more of a, I mean, they're now available all the time. You
Hmm.
can get them anywhere pretty much. But in olden times, or at least when I was growing up, they weren't so, I don't know what the word is.
Like
Per-
readily available all the
Readily
time.
available, pervasive, prolific. I don't know. It's like, and it really is. There's a reason for that, and that's because they're special. But
Hmm.
they've been around. Tamales have been around since like 250 BC. Michael, I don't know if
That's
you know
incredible.
that. Yeah, I mean it's primarily a Mexican dish.
Hmm.
People who know what we're talking about, but I just wanted to give a tiny history because it's interesting.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't know this. It is primarily Mexican, and then it kind of like just went through Mesoamerica. And we mostly know them here in Texas and North America, the ones that are made with corn husks, right? Basically, a tamal, in Spanish, it's tamal. Tamale is like anglicized to
Okay.
make it plural, but in Spanish, you would say tamal. So a tamal is basically like a dumpling made with corn masa dough that contains any kind of filling, right? And we mostly know pork, chicken, beef, sometimes bean, but actually tamales can be made of anything that, in Mexico, they have pink tamales that are filled with sweet stuff, strawberries and
Nice.
fruit and Mexican like sugar caramel called piloncillo and raisins and stuff like that. And then in southern Mexico, like in the jungle area, they're made with banana leaves. Still corn, but wrapped in banana leaves. And some of them have iguana in them. Um, they're made of all sorts of things, but they were mostly eaten like around Aztec or Mesoamerican festivals. I'm going to
Okay.
try and pronounce the main festival in ancient times where tamales were eaten or when tamales were eaten. And you're going to have to be patient with me because I don't know Nahuatl, which is the language of the Mesoamericans. But I thought it was funny because this is the name of the festival. Uwaquiltamalqualitzli.
Okay.
That's one word. And
Nice.
literally what it means is the eating of the tamales stuffed with amaranth leaves. And it was just a festival.
That's
It
a
was
great festival.
it was just a festival to eat tamales.
Yeah, I mean, even for me, just having grown up here in Texas, for me, it's always been like as we get closer to Christmas,
Uh-huh.
you know, and everybody has at least one person they know who makes awesome tamales. And
Yeah.
so as you get a little closer to the holidays, you start looking for putting in an order with that
Yeah.
person.
It's just because they're hard to make. Like you can't just like wake up one morning and go, I'm going to make tamales today.
Right.
Like the
Is there
process.
something you think that makes a perfect tamale?
Yes. I'm from South Texas though. So for me, like the real test of a good tamale is if you pick up your paper plate
Mhm.
and there's an orange stain on it and it's like and your plate is see-through.
Yeah.
Like that it
That's how you
has
know?
yeah, that's how you know. Some people don't like to put the red chili in the masa, and you'll get a tamal that's like just like white dough, and that's
Mhm.
how you know it's like, "Oh, these people don't know. These
They
people
they did it
don't
wrong.
know." No, I mean, your tamale has to be orange. Like, the masa has to be orange, and my grandmother liked a more delicate tamal, like a smaller tamal. Some people make them thicker, but my family is like, we're very delicate, fancy people, Michael,
Right.
so
That's
we
how
like
everyone's always thought of you.
yeah, exactly. I'm delicate. Christy Vela, she's delicate. But if you pick up the paper plate and there's not an orange stain on it,
Not
nah,
worth it.
it's not working. So yeah, and I mean, they just take a long while to make, and that's why they're more like holiday food. But now they are available everywhere. And of course, the best way to get tamales is if you have a friend, like we have a
Mhm.
friend who makes them.
Yeah, really,
But
really good ones.
really good ones, but you have to be considerate and put your order in early because don't put an order for tamales and then expect them to be there tomorrow. You got to
Right.
soak the husks, you got to make the masa, you got to prepare the chile, you got to make the meat, all that stuff. It's a long process, but the results are delicious. Now, my two favorite places to get tamales here in Dallas are actually Dallas Tortilla and Tamale Factory in Oak
Okay.
Cliff. They sell really, really, really good ones. And if you got to put your order in early because it's the same thing. And then there's also a brand, Texas Tamale Factory, and those are available at your central market at your in the frozen section. I'm not a super fan of frozen tamales, but those are actually really good. And you can get pork, beef, chicken, spinach. They have vegetarian options, cheese. They're
So if you
they're
need a
really good.
tamale fix, you can go grab it.
Yeah, go get your frozen tamales. It's Texas Tamale Company. They're out of Houston. You know they're good.
Right.
Or go down to Oak Cliff and get your tamales from Dallas Tortilla and Tamale Factory. Of course, the best way really is to walk into a little Mexican bakery,
Yeah.
a bakery, and ask, does anybody here make tamales? Or
That's how you get it.
yeah. Will you be making tamales this Christmas? And somebody's grandma, somebody's aunt will be like, I am. And then you can say,
Absolutely.
I will pay you for this many dozen.
Yeah.
And then
And if
that's how you get them. You got to
if
have a
you haven't
hookup.
tried them, you need to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, people expect that. People know. So walk into your favorite Mexican bakery if there's one in your neighborhood. And I promise you, if you live in Dallas, there's one in your neighborhood and say, is anybody making tamales for Christmas? I would like to order a couple of dozen
Totally.
and they'll
And
hook you
even
up.
if you live outside of Texas, there's a really good chance there's a
Yeah.
Mexican bakery around.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's like I was really surprised to find Michael, and I shouldn't be. Like, why would I be surprised? But I was surprised to find that there's Mexican bakeries in New York the last time I went up
Sure.
there. And I was like, "Oh, wow." And my son, who lives in Astoria, right around the corner from their house, there's a little Mexican restaurant that he goes to all the time, and it's so heartwarming because they know him now
Right.
and they include him and his girlfriend in like all the private Mexican their family parties.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, it's really cool. So it's nice to know that he's got family up there.
Yeah, that's great. All right, y'all, go get your tamales. That was the positive part of today's episode.
Yes.
But we watched Weapons, a highly lauded film from 2025, directed
Yeah.
by Zach Kreger, who also made, written and directed by, who also made Barbarian, which, if you go find our Barbarian episode, you know we were not fans.
Mhm.
But again, he has a huge hit. People are kind of flipping out about Weapons. You watched it first and messaged me, and you were vehemently angry.
I was really, really upset.
Yeah.
I was
Um,
so upset.
so I guess, we'll get into why. I mean, because I was very upset about Bring Her Back and more so than you. And I think I await your righteous anger when we get into this. But for those of you who haven't seen Weapons, spoilers, just so you know, you want to talk through it and then you can sort of tell me
Sure.
what when you started to feel the anger boiling
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah, I did. I mean, and here's the thing, it's like it was pretty early on.
Hmm.
And oh my god, I was about to say something and it flew out of my head cuz I was so pissed off. Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. And for anybody who's watching, listening, we're going to spoil the F out of this movie.
Yeah.
So,
And again, as often is the case, we seem to be in the minority when it comes to how we
yeah,
feel about this film.
we didn't
So
we didn't like Barbarian.
right, and people loved it, and yeah. So okay, so weapons. We start with a voiceover that I actually think is a. We start with a very intriguing idea. I thought
Sure.
the idea we get this voiceover from this young girl telling a story about how in this suburban town one night at I think what 2:17
Yeah, it's like
a.m.
3:17.
Okay, yeah, okay, and all of the children from one class at the elementary school, all but one, r- ran out of their homes doing
Mhm.
their little wing thing that now is
Uh-huh.
like a meme and disappeared.
Yeah, they
And
just wake up
nobody,
and run out
yeah,
into the night.
and nobody knows why, and nobody knows where they are. And
Mhm.
they were all from this one class,
Mhm.
and this one little boy is the only one who was left behind.
Left behind.
Yeah, sorry, rapture joke. We were recording this the day after the rapture was supposed to happen,
I
but
wasn't
we
raptured,
yeah,
by
me
the
neither.
way,
So
in
we're
case
here.
you're wondering. Yeah, we're still here.
So, okay, so we start with I
So,
mean,
okay, so let me say this, that when I saw the previews, right, and I saw all the trailers, and that's the image that we get,
yeah,
right? I was intrigued. I was like, "Oh, that's interesting and
yeah,
seems kind of scary." And how scary would it be if, like, it's a Pied Piper thing. The Pied
yeah,
Piper of Hamlish, if nobody is familiar with that, if you're not, do you live in the world? Where like all the children disappear one night, and that's creepy to me. Like,
yeah,
what could possibly have compelled these children to leave, And then
yeah,
it's in the night, and one of the interesting things that I did find interesting was that the only way they know that this happened is from like doorbell cameras, right?
yeah. I thought that was
Security
great.
cameras. And I was like, "Oh, that's really great, and it looks creepy."
And
And
it's
that
set to a
is
really awesome George Harrison song.
yes. And I feel like soon after that, I was like, "Oh, that's it?" Like, that's the only image we ever got in the trailers. So it intrigued me. And then in the movie, I'm like, what the hell? It seems to me this is how I imagine the pitch must have gone, Michael.
Alright,
Okay.
alright.
I imagine he must have gone into the producer or wherever people go to make movies now. And he said, listen, I want to make this movie. I have this idea about this image about these little kids in a weird liminal suburban neighborhood running like airplanes and disappearing. But I don't really believe that horror movies have to be scary like at all. Let's do something different, and let's make a horror movie that's not scary at all. I feel like that's what he said. And the
And it was
producer
all
was like smoking a big fat cat cigar and
green
going
light.
like, "That sounds great.
Yeah. Okay,
Let's do it."
so we start with so we have this yes, this image that is sort of what the movie is sold on. And then we essentially start following the teacher of this classroom.
Who's a
And
terrible person. I hated her.
and so it's her name is Justine, and we
Uh-huh.
get title cards when we're going to focus on a specific character's like part of this story.
Right. So
And
we
so
should,
we
yeah, we should say that the story is told in like, what's it called? You write screenplays, you know what it's called. It's like these separate storylines, episodes or
yeah,
whatever.
that essentially end up interweaving.
Right. Do they,
Yeah.
Michael?
I mean, yeah, like that's the big question, like why? But we start with Justine, who's played by Julia Garner, who is in everything now.
She's
She
playing Madonna.
is she really?
She's going to play Madonna. Yeah.
Hey, all right, good for her. She's also the Silver Surfer
Sh-
in Fantastic Four. She's
She's in
everything.
Ozark.
Yeah, and so she's a young teacher,
Hmm.
youngish. She seems very young to me, but yeah, youngish
Yeah, me too.
teacher.
I had to look up her age. Like, I actually looked up how old she is in life
Right.
because I
She
was
is an
like,
adult human.
I'm like, is she old enough
Yeah, to be a teacher. She
to be
is.
a teacher? She
We're
is.
just
She
very
absolutely is.
old.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like I'll watch stuff and I'll be like, "How do they have a kid that old?" And my wife will be like, She's 35, dude. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh.
movie stars are different.
So we start, and basically most of the town, the parents at this school think she is somehow involved in the disappearance of their children
Mhm.
because it's all from her class. It's every
Right.
kid but the one from her class, and nobody else from any other class has disappeared. And so they have this, school meeting,
Right.
and she gets up before all of these parents. The main one will end up being Josh Brolin. And, she gets up there and she's like, "Hey, I'm also gutted by this. I love these children." But they're not buying it, especially Josh Brolin. He's like, "This doesn't make any sense. She has to know something.
Yeah.
What is going on?"
Yeah. Like this is kind of where I don't know, like usually, the first person that we meet in the movie, right? Usually
Uh-huh.
that's the person that we're going to follow. Like
Yeah, that's usually the
that's
protagonist.
the protagonist, right?
Yeah.
And I am not the kind of person, like, I don't need a protagonist to be above reproach. Okay.
Right.
Like the more flawed or, a protagonist with flaws is interesting. Like they have something to learn. They're going to change. They're going to evolve something. I know that. I understand that. Our protagonists do not have to be perfect, but she is thoroughly unlikable, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
I agree. It's an odd choice
Yeah.
because I
And
don't think Julia Garner is unlikable. I think she's
no,
a talented actor.
but I think this character is thoroughly unlikable.
Yeah,
And
especially as a teacher of young
right.
children.
And
You're
at
like,
this,
where is that redeeming
right.
like,
I
yeah.
started to get petty. Like I started to get nitpicky because I hated her so much. And like the town meeting was the first time where I was like, you know what? I've never once, and I come from a family of teachers and I know tons of teachers and I've been a teacher and I do not know one teacher who has trouble in any situation getting up and speaking in front of a group. And it just like that seemed to me it felt lazy. Like
Mhm.
it just felt lazy.
Yeah.
And I don't even know why. So then, right after, she's so upset because she gets up in front of the group. She starts being attacked. She doesn't know what to say. She's just like, whatever. And then you see her go to a liquor store.
Yeah, after they kind of, like, chase her to her car,
Right.
yeah, she goes to a
She
liquor store.
And she buys 2 bottles of vodka.
Mhm.
And okay, people get upset. I'm not saying teachers shouldn't drink or whatever, but it's like she goes to the liquor store, she buys 2 bottles of vodka, she sees a someone is following her or someone's watching her. She also meets a crackhead who we'll meet
End
later
up
again.
being, yeah.
And she goes home and just gets drunk and drinks herself to sleep. Anyway, I mean, I don't even know. Like over the course of her story, you learn that she has had problems before
Yes, she had
at
problems
her
in her
last
last
school.
school,
Yeah, it was
and
like an inappropriate, but not inappropriate sexual, it's just kind of like real pushy. I feel like it's the first time we've ever had, well, not the first time, but it's like she's like a real example of a selfish Karen, you
yeah,
know?
and it's strange because she's a teacher and she keeps pushing the principal because she wants to talk to the one
Alex.
little boy who stayed behind, Alex, and he's like, "No, you can't do that."
Let's think about his
Yeah,
well-being.
because he's a
Like
little boy.
he's a little kid. These are little kids. It's 3rd grade.
Yeah, and then yes,
And
and
she's
then
like, I just need to talk to him. It would make me feel better. And he's like, do you see what you're saying?
right,
Um,
a
and I don't
and
know.
she
Go
ends
ahead.
up kind of stalking this little kid.
Yes, which not only as like that as a character, like that's a terrible thing, I think, like as a
Yes,
human being,
yes,
but also I just felt like plot-wise, I'm going, don't you think that's the last thing you would do? Like if the entire town was
right.
coming after you because they suspected you of doing something crazy to their children, like your first thought is like, "Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll stalk this child."
Yeah, right?
Nobody will People will stop suspecting me if only I can get to the 8-year-old child. Like,
Yeah,
it just seems like a stupid storyline. Like,
yeah,
are you
and
I was about to cuss. Are you stupid as a person?
yeah,
Like,
that
I just wouldn't do that.
no, I think and, like, I get it. She is flawed and like you said, that's fine. I don't even have a problem with the flaw. It's just like they're decisions that I don't understand
Story
why.
making,
Yeah,
storytelling.
why am I then interested in her at all?
Right. Are you
We
dumb?
also yeah, her car gets vandalized. Someone writes witch, excuse me, on the side, paints witch on the side of the car. And eventually she ends up going, she's having a hard time. She ends up going to the local
She's a
tavern.
drunk and she's a terrible person. Sorry.
Yeah, and she goes to a bar and she ends up meeting up with a
An
cop.
ex.
Yeah, who is her ex, right?
Right.
Yeah. Who also is clearly a recovering alcoholic, is with someone, a woman, but he says they're not together at the time.
Okay.
Anyway, they end
Can
up
I
both
let me
getting
okay.
drunk
Yeah.
and sleeping together.
Eventually, we're going to split off and get this guy's story.
Yes, and
Okay.
that's sort of the structure of that's not sort of, it is the structure of this movie.
Okay,
We
Michael.
stay with one
Can I ask
character.
you a question about this?
Sure.
Why do I care about the cop?
I have no idea. So this is where I started to get even like I wasn't angry in the way that you were. I was just bored because we end up spending so much time with the cop. Like we finish the Justine segment and then we start the Paul segment and we learn a
So
whole lot
much
about Paul.
that doesn't make a difference to the
Yeah,
story. I don't care about this guy who gives a blank. Like,
yeah,
I just don't care. And I'll tell you, I was incensed when I was like, I think I texted you. I have started this text maybe like 5 times and erased the whole thing because I knew you hadn't watched it.
right,
And I knew that if I texted you, then I didn't want to like color your perception of the movie or
right,
your
sure.
enjoyment of the movie, but I couldn't help it. Like finally I just said I can't help it because I was so angry. And part of my anger was that I spent that much money on a boring movie.
Yeah, yeah, I yes, yeah, 'cause
That was part of my anger.
and I so we follow this cop. We learn Paul. Obviously, he has this. He's was with Justine. They sleep together after the night at the bar. He has
He
a part.
clearly has a drinking problem
Yes,
and
and
she's
also
like, "Come on, it's okay."
has a partner
I
who
just hated her.
she wants. They're trying to have a baby, or at least she is. He also. So then when we follow him, he has a run in with the drug addict
Right.
where Paul gets stuck with a needle and all of that
There's
stuff.
like this weird thing of like him being paranoid about getting sick from the needle.
Yeah. And
I don't know how that comes into play with anything later. His father-in-law is the chief of police.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
I don't and none of that makes any difference to the story. Like why am I learning about this guy
yeah.
when
And it's a significant portion of the movie.
yeah,
I
man,
mean,
this movie was too long.
yeah, way too long. And so we spend time with him. We also, I think, we also go back to I know when we're jumping around, we also latch on to Josh Brolin's character,
Right.
Archer.
Arch who he was like actually of all of them, his character made sense to me.
Yeah, and he's a father of one of the boy, although he made some choices at the end that I thought were
Yeah.
absolutely bizarre as well. But he is the father of one of the missing children.
Mhm.
He is obviously investigating this. He doesn't think the cops are doing their job. All of those things.
And
He's
you can see his relationship with his wife is deteriorating, like
yeah,
and
his
it's like, I
job.
get it. His kid's gone. He's sleeping in his kid's room. He's obsessed. The kids
Yeah.
have been gone for what, like 18 days?
Yeah,
No,
I think something like that. And
something like that.
he owns a construction company, but he's not doing
His
his
job,
job. So it's all falling apart. He blames
the teacher.
Justine, or at least thinks she knows something she's not saying.
Right.
He starts stalking her while she's stalking the little kid. We find out he's the one who painted witch on her truck.
He's the one that's following her around
But then he ends up saving her because he kind of confronts her at a gas station and she gets attacked
by the
by
principal.
the principal, who is like a rabid beast when he attacks
Attacks
her.
her. And he's running like the little kids.
Yeah, he's doing the little wing thing.
Yeah.
And so we end up sort of Josh Brolin and her, Justine, Archer and Justine, who were at odds, are at least now
Join
forming a
forces.
forming a unit. Yeah.
Right.
And they clearly know something is going on. At the same time, Archer, Josh Brolin, he goes to other parents who also are missing children to look at their doorbell cam videos.
Yeah, he realizes that he's been watching the video over and over again of his kid. And
Mhm.
so every morning when he walks out of his home to go to work, he always looks in the direction where his kid ran.
Yeah,
Okay. And then I guess miraculously, he suddenly realizes that there's like a radio tower or something
yeah. He
in
starts
the,
to
and he starts to make the connection. And he's like,
that's where they were headed that way.
right. And I'm
Yeah,
going like, "Did you never notice the radio tower before?" I don't
before.
know.
And so he goes to a different parents, and we get a cameo from Justin Long, who was in Barbarian, and also Zach Cregger's wife, who is the lead in The Innkeepers, which
Whom
is,
we love.
yeah, much better movie.
Much better. So he because he's a construction worker, he has these, like, survey maps of
Sure.
subdivisions and stuff like that. So he starts drawing, like, ley lines, right? He
Mhm.
starts survey and he starts realizing, "Oh, crosses this crosses this." And so he starts visiting the houses, mostly that one, of the one that's directly across from his home. They
Yes.
kinda don't wanna talk about it, they think he's a weirdo, but
Right.
whatever, it's part of the movie, so I
And
guess it has.
this house ends up being the house where the little boy who survived or
Yeah,
who
the
stayed
one it's
behind.
right in the middle.
Yeah. And also, meanwhile, the cop has this thing with the drug addict, right? Then we
Right,
follow the drug addict who ends up at the house. He's the one he first sees the children
right.
are all in the
The basement.
basement, and they're sort of almost like catatonic, just kind
Yeah.
of standing there. He's desperate for money because, he's a junkie or whatever. And so he ends up teaming up with the cop, even though they're completely at odds. They get together because the drug addict wants the reward. The cop needs to kind of save face. I mean, he beat the hell out of the drug addict. Also, he's
He
cheating on
also messed
his
around on his
daughter.
wife. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad scene. They end up going to the house. The final, I guess, well, not even the final,
No, man, it went on forever, and I just didn't care anymore.
because then we follow the principal and
Right.
we
And
follow
listen,
him.
we haven't even met the villain.
I know, I
Like,
know.
we haven't even met the Amy Madigan character,
Yeah,
Aunt
and so
Gladys or whatever her name is,
yeah, we meet her. Okay, so we follow, then we sort of flash to the principal, and we're gonna follow him up through everything that
when he
leads up to him
attacks.
attacking her, Justine, at the gas
Right.
station. And he has a very strange meeting. He wants to meet with the parents of Alex, the one boy who
Mhm.
didn't disappear from the class. And this very strange woman, Alex's Aunt Gladys, shows up for this meeting and says, Alex's parents couldn't make it. I'm here. I'm taking care of Alex. And you are shaking your head. Why are you? So let the people know why you're so
Because
annoyed by this.
I'm just so annoyed. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. It's just that
No, no, I go
the
ahead. Please
this
do.
character just bugs, like, in this movie where everybody is seemingly normal, like, every day, whatever that means, and then suddenly we have this character show up who is dressed like a frickin' clown for no reason at all.
Yeah,
What? Why is she dressed that way?
I
Why
don't
is
know.
her makeup that way? Like,
Yeah,
why?
I don't know.
Why? Like, is it just to make her look wacky?
I,
Like
I
she's the wacky aunt? Like
yeah,
she's dressed like she went to some crazy retro vintage shop in Richardson, Texas, and bought a 1970s pantsuit and is wearing a bad wig from Spirit Store.
yeah.
Like,
It's
why?
very bizarre.
And she is an anomaly in this world. And I just think that it was wacky for wacky's sake,
Yeah, I agree.
And it's like, of course, if this woman walked into your office, if you're a principal, and this woman walked into your office, Michael, wouldn't you be like,
Yes,
maybe we
this is
should,
really weird.
this is really weird. but nobody seems to, I mean, they think it's weirdish, I
Yeah.
guess, but she is just like, is in a different world from everybody else. And if that was the purpose of her, I just think there's better ways to achieve that,
Yeah, and then
because she was a clown.
yeah, and that's nothing against Amy Madigan's a great actor.
Yeah.
There are rumors about award season for this role, but it's just like it's so out of left field, and I'm
What?
sure people yeah, I don't think,
Are you kidding?
I am not. I don't think it'll happen,
I
but yeah.
quit.
Yeah.
And that's nothing against her.
No,
I'm
she's
just like,
yeah,
why?
yeah, it's so strange, and then so what I got the thing that sort of then annoyed me, or I was like, "Now I'm so bored." She shows up at the principal's house after this meeting, like, I
Right,
think the day after, and yeah, whatever, she's out of or right after the meeting, she's out of breath or whatever. She asks for a glass of water. The principal doesn't want her to come in, but his husband is like, "Of course you can come in and
right.
have a glass of water, old weird lady." And then we
Whom you would never actually let into your home?
right, and then we quickly find out because of this what she does, she asks for water in a bowl, which is like,
Mhm.
okay. And she's like, "It's a strange habit of mine." But then we quickly find out she quickly does this ritual.
Spell,
Yeah, a
ritual.
spell. So we find out that very quickly that she is a witch,
Mhm.
that and her true craft, I guess, is she can control people. And so she, in the kitchen, takes control of the principal
Uh-huh.
and has him bash his head into his husband's face until his husband is dead on the floor.
Why?
And so right then I was like, okay, well, we now know the mystery. We know that clearly these children who left were being controlled by this witch.
Right.
And yet we're nowhere near the end of the movie.
Right, and also we don't know why they're being controlled
Right.
because
We will
Alex's parents are also being controlled,
yeah. So then we go to Alex's story. Then we go to the
is the
Alex
final little thing.
section and we find out that Gladys is very sick. She is wearing wigs because she's bald. Uh,
I just thought she liked going to Spirit Store.
yeah. And she is controlling Alex's parents. She thought my thought is like she's draining their power and thinks it'll heal her, but it doesn't work. And she's like threatening Alex constantly.
Mhm,
And finally, she's like, maybe your classmates can help me. I need something that belongs to all of them.
mhm.
And so he goes and takes like their little name tags from their like
From
little
their cubby holes,
cubby
yeah.
hole. And she does a spell that that's what brought all of the children out. But I felt like as soon as you saw her control the principal, whether you knew she was sick or why she was doing it, I felt like that absolutely gave away the mystery of how the kids ended up in the house.
Sure,
And
absolutely.
and so I was like, so there's no mystery anymore. And this is where I again, I was we talk a lot about we in I don't know that every writer talks about this, but a lot of times in writing stuff in different formats, but especially for like in podcast, television, film, or whatever, you talk about the promise of the movie or the show. And to me, the promise of this show that it sets up, this movie, is this interesting, intriguing disappearance of all of these children in a very strange way. And I don't believe the solution lived up to the promise at all. I was like, it was a witch? Really? Like that's
Right.
doing?
But here's the thing, it's like it wasn't even an interesting witch, in my
No,
opinion.
no.
No, it at all, because, I and you're the one who said, I th and I'm gonna quote you, Michael, you were like, "I think it's that she was taking their life force or
Yeah,
whatever." And I thought, "Yeah, see, but we never even learned that. Like, we never even saw that happen." It's a
yeah.
thing where I hate when the audience has to make the jump on their own instead of learning through an interesting way of what is actually happening. When
Yeah,
you have to fill those holes in on your own, and even at that, you're going, I think that's what was happening.
yeah,
To me, that's just bad writing.
unless you are in that kind of world, like
Right.
Mulholland Drive or something, um,
Absolutely. This is
but
not
this
Mulholland
is not.
Drive,
No, and
and
it's not
he's
set
not
up
David
that.
Lynch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not set up that way.
Yeah. Like, I don't need answers. Like, I don't need for everything to be answered. You know that about me. I mean,
Yeah,
good lord, I love David Lynch. Like, I don't need that. But I need some answers. Like, I need some breadcrumbs, you
and I
know?
just thought I don't know, I just thought the witch thing was so uninteresting.
Lame.
It was so uninteresting to me,
Yeah, I
and
just did not care about any of them. And she just like the witch lady just and it wasn't even a scary witch. Like
no.
it was just this wacky lady in a stupid costume.
Yeah, it was and yeah, I don't know. I just was like, I can't believe this is where this movie landed."
Right. And everybody's like, it's so scary. This is like, I read a thing the other day where it was like, oh, it's so terrifying. Like, brings new meaning to horror. And I was like, only if the new meaning is that horror is not scary. Like, is that the new meaning? Because then I agree.
I didn't find this movie scary at all.
I was bored out
Yeah,
of my
I thought that
skull.
I was too. I was absolutely bored by it. I thought it was way too long. I didn't think it was scary, and also, again, I know I've now
Michael, it's
repeated.
2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah, and there was no need for it. And again, I'm like, a witch? I don't know. That just seems so, and
Yeah,
I get
man.
it, it, like, ties to fairy tales and, you brought up the Pied Piper and things like that, but I found it so uninteresting
You know what?
as a
Go watch the
conclusion.
Pied Piper of Hamlet
Uh,
on Fairy Tale Theater, directed by Shelley Duvall, starring
yeah.
Eric Idle. Like, it'll be more scary than this frickin' movie.
I read a review that, again, I was baffled. It was like, it exposes the dark underbelly of the American suburb. And I was like, okay,
Nah.
one, I don't think it does do that. Two, that ain't new ground.
Yeah. I don't think it does do that. You
I
know,
didn't either.
I mean, it's odd that you say that because I think to cleanse my palate after
Uh-huh.
I watched It Follows,
Yeah, which
which
is
I love.
uh-huh.
And I hadn't seen it in a while. Now, you wanna talk about exposing the weird, strange underbelly of the American suburb? Go watch
Right.
It Follows.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
I
that's
agree.
doing something entirely different and effective, you know?
Yes, yes.
That is telling a story that is bigger than itself, you know?
Yeah, and I'm all for swinging for different story structures and, he does that in this, but I didn't think it paid off either.
It didn't pay off. It didn't I'm sorry, it didn't pay off. It was like if somehow these storylines all kind of like crashed into each other, right? And it was
Mhm.
like, oh, because of this thing that this person does, this person, and they all kind of like come together so that we get to the solution of the problem or like whatever it is, that would have been something, right? But
Right.
but they don't do that. These storylines don't do like I don't understand why we spend so much time with a cop and I
I
don't
don't
understand
either.
why we spend so much time with a crackhead. I didn't care about them at all.
No. And then
I didn't care about the teacher.
like, children chasing the witch through the neighborhood and shattering windows and all that.
I just thought it
I
was
mean,
so dumb.
and I didn't find it nearly as funny as I guess some people did. Yeah, I thought the end was,
You know what's
they
funny? In olden times, they used to have chases through people's houses. It was
right.
funny. Let's do
Yeah.
that.
And they end
That's
up, the kids tear the witch apart and,
and then you don't actually learn what happens to anybody.
no, they said some of the kids have started talking again. I think that was where we end, a year later. Yeah, I don't know. I know I'm just sort of saying the same thing over and over. I just found the movie boring.
Yeah.
I just was bored. But as often is the case, other people wildly disagree with us. They love it. I have seen this
Well,
and
they're wrong.
yeah, I mean, this and Bring Her Back are being talked about as the 2 greatest horror films in a long time. I mean, you can listen to our
Teeth,
episode. couldn't stand Bring Her Back,
Yeah.
and I was just bored by this, so I
I
don't know.
I was I was so angry at this. I was so angry. I hated everybody. I didn't see the point of it. I didn't understand why we were following these people. I didn't understand why the kids were being, I think I said to you, are they weapons and batteries?
Yeah,
Like,
they're both, I don't know.
what is happening? Like, is it weapons because the one particular spell that she uses throughout the whole movie can turn a person into a weapon? Like, is that,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
why is she weaponizing them? I didn't understand what the hell was happening throughout the whole thing. I did understand. I just didn't care.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the big difference, and again, on the flip side, it is such a huge hit and so well loved that they're already talking about making an
A
Aunt Gladys
sequel,
prequel, so,
a prequel
yeah,
about the aunt?
of Aunt Gladys to see, I guess, where
Maybe it's
she
her
came
going
from.
shopping for her wacky clothes.
Yeah, so, yeah,
I hated that character so,
I
so much. I mean, at least Terrifier, like, at least Terrifier, you know it's a clown. Like, "Oh, it's a clown," right?
right,
This
right,
character, you're like, "What? Why
yeah,
am I scared of her?" Like, I don't understand. Because her makeup looks funky?
right,
Because she's wearing a 1970s pantsuit?
absolutely
I'm
terrifying.
so scared.
Yeah, so that's weapons.
Do you think it's because, I mean, it does take a lot to scare us, Michael. I mean, like, we watch a lot of horror
Sure.
movies.
But I don't know. I don't in this case, I don't think this movie's scary at all. And I don't, I know we watch more horror movies than a lot of people, but no, there was nothing in this where I even objectively could be
Yeah.
like, I understand that's scary.
No, no. It
As much as
ruined
I
my day.
as much as I disliked Bring Her Back, there were moments in that I could acknowledge were horrifying or frightening or whatever. I didn't feel like that with weapons at all.
It was just boring.
Yeah.
It was just boring, and people are like, "Oh, most of it happens in the daytime. That's so scary." And I'm like, "Well, so is Midsummer, and Midsummer is
Yeah.
like 5,000,000. I mean, that's a horror movie, you know?"
Yeah.
I just I don't know. Like, I don't know what's happening in the world, Michael. What I mean,
yeah. And like we say, it's like, well, a lot of people disagree with us, so go watch it and make your own
make your
decision.
own decision, let us know. And again, I mean, like, I guess, okay, I guess the standard is everybody loves it and people want a prequel.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay.
again, we're on the outside. Well, I don't know. Maybe for next time we'll find a movie we like.
It's because we're haters.
Yes, we are. We are haters. I have been told that. So
Yeah,
it
I've
must
been
be
told
true.
that too. I've been told I'm a hater.
If I was gonna say, if side note, if you're listening to this on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts, go to the YouTube
Yeah.
and watch us there, subscribe. We're doing weekly video content on YouTube, and some of it you can't get in podcast form. We're doing
Yeah.
mini episodes. I did a deep dive into werewolf history
It's
and
really
werewolf
great. I was
movies.
so interested. I was like, "Oh my
We're
god, I didn't know that."
we're gonna do a lot more. You're doing some ASMR stuff, gonna talk
Yeah.
costumes.
I'm
So
gonna talk about some costumes and some,
yeah.
maybe some witches.
So go find Terror and Tacos on YouTube, like, subscribe, share, all of those things. And also, real quick, on September 25th, the September 25th episode of American Criminal,
Hmm?
we were guests. We sort of hinted at this last time, but go check that out. American Criminal, which is hosted by the great Jeremy Schwartz. We had an awesome time talking about Hitchcock and Rope and Leopold and Loeb and all of those things.
Yeah.
So go eat
So,
tamales.
and go watch
What?
Weapons, I
Sure.
guess, or like go talk about watching Weapons and then think about this actually scariest movie you've ever seen and then go watch that instead.
Good
'Cause,
call.
yeah, I'm sorry. I hated it. It was terrible. If you want to be bored on a Saturday afternoon, go watch Weapons. It ruined my weekend. Like, it really did. I hated that movie. I hated it so much. I hate it. I'm spreading the hate. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And anybody who likes it, you're wrong. You're wrong. I hate it. So dumb.
You're
So
an idiot.
dumb.
All right,
Yep.
y'all. We
What are we
will.
going to watch next time? We
I
said we
will.
were going to try and do like a classic and a
Yeah,
new,
we'll
I don't know,
pick a
we'll figure something
classic.
out.
Yeah, and again, like I said, on YouTube, we're doing weekly stuff in between our reviews. So go check it out. All right,
Yeah.
we will Find something we don't despise for next time.
I'll see you next time, Michael.
All right. Bye.
Bye.